Hello, everybody, and welcome back and happy Sunday. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium. And over here, we don't do fluff, we cut straight to the truth. Hope everyone is doing all right, especially with everything that's been going down the last couple of days, weeks. I was going to say weeks, but which makes sense because remember, we're in eclipse season. So we shouldn't be surprised that what happened to Iran happened now. And there's also another eclipse, a total lunar eclipse coming up in a couple of days' time. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about everything today, not just the Epstein. But I want to say that I want to continue, and I will continue talking about the Epstein because what Trump is doing right now, it is trying to bury the Epstein news and people from talking about it. This is the biggest distraction in friggin' history. All right. So I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop digging in, talking about it, doing readings, and really talking about what really matters. Of course, what happened in Iran really matters. We'll get into it as well. And of course, as always, I will take your questions. And also, if there's anything that is stressing you out that you worry about, please ask me in the comments or in the chat, and I will try to answer it as best as I can. And hopefully I can put you at ease a little bit because I understand that everyone is on edge. Everyone is feeling a certain kind of way. We're all feeling the energies. Let me tell you, and I want to hear what you guys have to say in the chat. And then, of course, I'm going to say hello to the most beautiful people on earth and beyond. And these are the Femmies, the fam. All right, but I want to hear from you guys. I've heard this from so many people, including family members, my kids, friends, clients, people I know, randomly. Everyone is talking about the vivid dreaming that they've been having the past few days. Everyone's been saying, I wake up really tired, even though I go to bed early. The dreams, I have these vivid, weird dreams. Yeah, it's normal because this energy right now is so potent, the collective energy. There is a massive historical shift happening. It's an astrological shift, it's a historical shift, it's an energy shift. So it's normal that we're all feeling it. I've been feeling it too. And I want to share with you a dream that I had a few days ago. I don't remember every single detail of that dream, but I know that the dreams that I remember, because I don't tend to remember my dreams, but because that's usually because I travel, I visit the astral realm, I visit my higher self, I go back home in the spirit world, and then I come back. I'm not meant to remember all that stuff. We're not meant to remember that consciously when our conscious self. But when I do remember the dreams that I do have, that means that these are prophetic dreams, they're visions, they're trying to tell me something, and I pay attention. All right, so before we move on, hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing okay, considering what's happening out there. I also want to say that because we do have Iranian friends that are watching and they're friends of the channel and they're watching this channel, I want to say that I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you, even though it feels or it seems that the country, Iran, is split in two. There are those who are rejoicing and celebrating and happy about finding their freedom eventually, or will they? We'll look into that. We will look into that. I will also share with you some of my past predictions because back in January, I talked about what was going to happen this year. I talked about what's going to happen soon. I didn't know how soon, but here we are now. I also have talked about, and as you guys know, I was supposed to fly out to New York in March. And for various reasons, including listening to my intuition and my guides, I canceled those tickets. And I said this, I think about a month ago. It's not a good time to travel. March is the worst month to travel. If you've already booked a ticket, please don't change your plans just because I said so. And I'm not asking anyone to change their plans or cancel their traveling or their trips, nothing like that. Just make sure you have travel insurance, that you just have everything in order. Make sure that you're traveling somewhere where it's safe, meaning there isn't any social unrest, or the energy is not bubbling in that location, and you should be fine. All right. Okay. So I just want to put it out there. So there's just so much going on, and there's so many things that I want to share with you today. We're going to talk about. I might be a little bit all over the place, but this is because I have a lot. I have a lot to share. And of course, as per always, I really want to hear what you guys have to say, your opinions, your thoughts on things, your feelings, etc. Hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, Trump is doing well, Trump is doing Bibi Netanyahu's dirty deeds here. Okay. This is what's happening. Those two trigger happy idiots, right? Decided that this is what they're going to do now. Who's next? I wonder. We'll talk about it. Oh, happy birthday, everybody. Wish Luna's mom, Tracy, a happy birthday. Absolutely, our beautiful Pisces. Happy Sunday, Femmies, to you too. Finally, has it arrived over there? Well, it's somewhat arrived here, but they said it's going to get cold again. I'm over it. I'm over it. The only good thing about February, March is that the days get longer. So, yes. Happy Sunday to you too, Danielle. Yay, everyone's wishing. Luna's mom Tracy, or Luna's mom Tracy. Yeah, I said it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, now that I've upgraded all the system, we're good. But we are in Mercury retrograde season as well. So I'm not surprised everything is happening and going down now. Hello, deleted comment queen. Hope you're doing well. Hello, everybody. I love saying hello, and I love seeing you here on Sundays. I absolutely love it. It is a difficult time right now. Thank you. Yes, don't forget to like this video. Let's see what you guys are saying. So many people in the house today. Just a little reminder that everything we say here are based on my opinions and my intuition, and they're not based on facts. I have to put out this disclaimer. I will also bring up my banner as well. And just a nice little reminder for you guys to like this video as you enter, as you leave. Some of you may have to leave early before the show is over, but don't forget to click on the like button, everybody, and do consider subscribing if you're new here. It's for free, and you are supporting me and my channel and the community at the same time, and you will be part of a beautiful community. We're all here for each other. And don't forget to follow me on Substack, because I do write a lot of articles and pieces over there, a lot of things, a lot of thoughts, things that maybe I don't have time to cover on here on YouTube. A lot of things that I share over there. I love writing. This is also, Substack is a way of sort of like dusting my penmanship for the book that I'm writing as well. Also, I highly suggest this. If you want to write a book, okay, and you feel like you're kind of stuck, you know what you do? You start writing. You start writing, even if it's nonsense, even if it's just anything that comes through your head. Just start writing, and that will get you in the flow. And that's when you start building on that confidence of writing. And don't be like me. I'm a Virgo rising. Don't forget, I'm a perfectionist. So when I write, I always read it over and over again, and I try to find the mistakes. And when I'm talking about when I write books or short stories or articles that are being published and things like that. Substack, yeah, you'll find typos and you'll find grammatical errors and stuff, because usually I just sit there, drink my coffee for an hour in the morning when everyone's gone, and I just write from the heart. I just write, right? I don't really curate what I write. So it's there's a lot going on. All right. Oh, you guys, I'm watching from Dubai. Oh no. All right. I hope you're safe, first of all. Are you at the center of Dubai? Because I heard that's where all the missiles are flying overhead, if you will. I hope that you're safe, that you remain safe. I hope this ends soon. Well, I'll throw the cards as well just to see. And I'll connect to my guides to see how long this is going to last, because of course Iran is retaliating, even though Ayatollah Khamenei is officially now, he's been unalived, which I have to say, we have to say, all right, remove the politics, remove all of it. This was very clean cut. Just like with Maduro, this was very clean cut. If you remember in one of my earlier videos of this year, remember I said, if you've watched it, of course, I believe this was the future of the USA. I think this was the video which is titled The Future of the USA. And remember I said that I saw that America has a secret weapon and that they would test it or use it either in the Middle East or the Far East. I wasn't sure. It wasn't clear to me. Voila. And it will come out that what they used, whatever weapon they used to get to Ayatollah, it's going to come out. But I am very upset about the fact that the USA targeted a school, or it was near a school. I'm not sure about that. Kids died. Okay? I'm not happy about that whatsoever. I'm happy for Iran and the Iranian people, at least the ones that did not want to have a theocratic regime. But it's still a mess. It's not done, you guys. It's not the operation of unaliving Ayatollah and his cabinet and his people was very successful, but it's not clean cut as to what the future of Iran is. And we're going to look at this one today. You want to tell me, with the technology that we have today, with the secret weapons, with the AI and with drones, they couldn't do a more clean targeting without unaliving innocent people and children? Enough already. I'm sorry, I'm upset. I'm really sorry I'm upset, but it's really, on one hand, I'm happy for the Iranians and I'm celebrating with them. But again, I'm a little bit sort of reluctant to really celebrate, because my feeling is, my intuition says something else, but we will do the reading here live. And I think we might as well start with Iran since we're talking about it, and then we'll get to the Epstein stuff, because with the Epstein stuff, there's more that's come out. Epstein apparently was into metaphysics. He was into eugenics. Are we shocked? Baby farming. Remember we talked about the baby farms. It wasn't just for trafficking reason, transportation reason. I have to use a different word. I'm using code words here. Transportation reasons. It was also for eugenics. Hello, which is like, the younger the female that was carrying a baby, okay, the healthier the baby was going to be, of course. So we're going to talk about this. His fascination in eugenics, in psychic abilities, psychokinesis, telepathy is the other thing, which is why he was warming up and sort of approaching these scientists from Harvard, from Berkeley, professors from Berkeley, scientists like we all know about Deepak Chopra. We've talked about that on the members live. We got into it a lot more. So we need to continue talking about these things and shedding light to these things, because the Department of Justice just decides whenever we're looking the different direction, i.e., oh, Iran's being bombed. Oh, the leader of the country of Iran's been unalived. Look at that. Oh, delete, delete, delete. Let's delete. Let's delete those files that mention, I don't know, maybe Trump, maybe other people. So we're going to continue talking about this. Yes, we're going to help the algorithm. We're going to help Google. We're going to help the SEO. We're not going to help them bury all this because this is what they're trying to do. And we're not going to take it. All right, let's start with Iran since that's the hot topic right now. So, and then so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about Iran, what is happening, the energy that I feel right now. I'm going to connect to my guides. I'm going to also use my cards and see what comes through regarding the future of Iran. All right. Then we'll talk a little bit about the eclipse, the upcoming eclipse. This eclipse is going to be in Virgo, which is going to, for the collective, it's going to be very, very, very tense. Which signs the eclipse is going to affect the most, which is the mutable signs. There you go. Told you. And what I believe, because as you know, eclipse seasons last, and especially these eclipses, the energy and the effect is going to last for 2 years. So we have a lot of things to talk about. All right. If you have questions, you guys, Gigi has a question. I've highlighted it, but if you have questions, please drop them in a minute because I may miss them because I don't always look at the chat. I look at the camera. All right, let's start with Iran. I just want to share with you the 2 predictions and what I said about Iran a month and a half ago. Okay, these was part of the 2 videos. They're both taken. They're clips from 2 separate videos. The one's the future of the USA, and the other one was my predictions for 2026. I also realized that I did talk about this in 2025, which is on the video, which says summer predictions 2025. So you can go back and watch that as well. What I said, as you guys know, a lot of these predictions, I assume when I get these visions, these downloads, I assume they are for either the year that the current year or the year ahead. But sometimes these predictions take a little bit longer for them to manifest or to start unfolding. So, all right. Okay. I can see some of you. Don't drop any more questions. I may miss them because as the chat goes up, it's hard for me and then I may miss them. I'll tell you when it's time for you to drop your questions. All right. So let me share my predictions real quick and then you can ask me questions about Iran, not about Epstein yet or astrological or whatever else, because I'm trying to keep things like more structured. With some of my Iranian friends that eventually there will be the end of an Ayatollah's regime, okay? And I do see in the future that eventually Iran is going to go back to having a monarchy and back to its heyday, if you will. This is sort of like the beginning of the end of the current situation, current theocratical situation in Iran at the moment. All right, this is where I talked a little bit about how I see the future of Iran unfolding. Going back to the monarchy doesn't mean that we're going back to the monarchy now or yet, or we are. Iran is, okay? I believe this is going to take much longer, and I will explain why. Let me bring up the next prediction. They're going to escalate to the point where I do see conflict. A couple of bombs landing in Iran, which means that security in the USA is going to tighten even more. Even traveling in and out of the country might get a little bit more difficult. They're going to be on high alert for terrorism and terrorist attacks. So there's a lot of that coming up. Not that 2025 5 was a calm, peaceful year, but all this energy is amplifying, especially during 2026. And there you go. And there you go. It all happened in less than a few hours, actually. Okay. The So I just want to share with you what I've gotten from my guides and what I've gotten psychically. And then I will throw some cards just to sort of like fill in the gaps, if you will. And then I will get your questions. I will get to your questions. So I was getting this. Of course, as you know, this is not this doesn't mean just because Hamne is out of the way that, things are going to go back to Iran's heyday. I kept getting, since yesterday, actually, I was talking about it with my husband, who's very much into politics, like he really follows politics and things like that. And I was telling him my prediction, right? And he didn't agree with me. He rarely agrees with me when it comes to politics. And then when I'm right, most of the time, sometimes I can be off or wrong. He won't admit, he will never say, "Oh yeah, you were right." He's like, "Mm-hmm, mm-hmm." I don't know if your husbands are like that, but there you go. But back to what I was saying. I do believe, I keep feeling that the country, yes, there is this the celebration, if you will, but there's the part that's celebrating. There's the part of light in Iran, and there's the shadow part, and these are the ultra religious who want the theocracy back in their country, and who really saw Ayatollah Khamenei as a god, or a man of God. Okay, so I feel that tensions are going to rise. There's going to be a civil war. There's going to be massive division there, which is something that I feel that Bibi wants. Actually, all right, he wants this unrest. He wants this division. He wants all that because this is how he gets his agenda through. This is how he manages to gain even more control of the land, of the resources. And Bibi, I've said this before, and you all know this. You all know this. He's very, very smart. He's got the God complex, the king complex. Trump has it too. So many of these leaders, in quotes, for lack of a better word, because they're not leaders, have this God complex, king complex. I'm king. I can do whatever I want. So I do see there is going to be civil war, a lot of division, a lot of public unrest, unalivings, attacks, terrorist attacks, something that I've also mentioned in my predictions, video for 2026. I do see terrorists, and you heard me say it in that video as well, ramping up of terrorist attacks, not just there, everywhere, especially the US, Europe too, but in the US as well. Going to be a lot of these sleeper cells that are going to be they're going to become active in some sense. And yes, I don't know if anyone's asking this right now, and I heard in my head, I'm answering this question though that just popped in. Yes, we may have, as you know, I don't do fluff, so please take it as you will. All right, I do have a very bad feeling that we may have a 2001 situation, not as big, not as deadly, will be, but some kind of incident with planes and airports too. Disruptions in traveling, this is worldwide, because there are going to be issues everywhere, not just America, not just Iran, not just UAE. I will share with you what I got yesterday. And I believe I even commented under someone, I don't remember whose, but some journalist who was covering and reporting on this, and I wrote, because sometimes, when I receive something straight away, and let's say I'm on my computer, on my phone, sometimes I might even like type it or share it with someone. I don't know why I do it. Maybe it's for me to not forget what I'm getting. Not that I do, like I don't forget predictions, but I don't know why I did it. But what I wrote, and this was just me channeling in the moment, was until the end of March, the tensions are going to rise on and off, on and off. There's going to be tensions in the Middle East, UAE, American bases, all around the UAE and the Middle East are going to be targeted. More people are going to be unalived. Now, whether they are officials, like, in the soldiers, the military, pilots, etc. Possibly, I do see a hit on whether it's, I don't know if this is an aircraft carrier that they're going to hit or a base near a port, but Iran's going to be successful with that at some point. So there's going to be an escalation. There's going to be a back and forth. So for those of you who are in the UAE, I will ask my guides now, when will it be safe to travel out of the Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar? Um, Not for another couple of weeks, I heard, by the way. Not of I just saw that the airport might open up for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and they're going to shut it down again. So they might open it at a time when they feel that it's safe, just to get some people out, people who want to go back to their destinations or back home, and then it will be shut down again. This is going to last months, okay? But this, like this massive shift now that's coming to Iran, I don't believe that the successor of Ayatollah is, because as we know, now that America and Israel are involved, they're gonna place whoever they want as a successor. And I do feel that the successor is not going to be, it's going to be slightly better than Hamneh, but not better. Okay. Maybe more loose regarding like women's rights and things like that. A little bit more loose, less Sharia law there. This is what I'm getting, but there is going to be a massive shift. Now, I remembered another prediction that I did a while ago where I did say, I believe this was a year or two ago, where I saw in one of my visions that there is going to be the geopolitics and the way that geographically things are in the Middle East are going to change completely. I've said before in the past that in one of my visions, I didn't see Israel anymore. Israel did not exist. It doesn't mean that Israel is going to be completely vanished or someone's going to bomb the country and there's going to be nothing left, kismet, to use their words, kismet for Gaza and what they did to Gaza. No, it's more so that I see 2 or 3 countries, one of them could be Palestine, actually, will be Palestine, merging and becoming one. So it's not going to be named Israel anymore. It's going to be Israel, but it's not going to be named Israel. It's going to have a very different name, but it's going to become a superpower. Just so you know, I'm talking now down in the future, right? So this is all making sense because it's all basically happening right in front of our eyes. All these like historical changes and historical moments are unfolding right in front of our eyes, and these are what's shaping what the future is going to be like. Iran's not safe yet. Iran's not safe yet. Obviously, there's still, there's attacks and ballistics flying and this and that, but it's not safe yet. It's going to take a while to get there. All right, because I can see you guys. Okay, you can drop your questions. I already highlighted some questions in the meantime. Okay, that's JE question. I'm saving it for later, Gigi. May I ask, is that true landed in Berlin yesterday? Oh, I hadn't heard of that. Let me just pull a card. Did BB yesterday? No, it feels like another misinformation distraction, to be honest. That's what I'm getting. Let me pull a card for it. I got the Queen of Pentacles. This could be the Ace of Pentacles. Keep getting Pentacles, you guys. Do you understand? This is just above politics now. This is not just politics. This is sharing wealth, sharing power. This is a power, a tug of war of power. Even though America helped Israel with this, there's still power play here. Okay, who's the better? Who's the best? Who's the strongest? Who's the most powerful, etc. No, I'm getting yes and no, meaning I don't believe that he was in Berlin yesterday, but maybe he's about to. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. You guys, Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. Dirty money, war money. War money, dirty money. And you know what happens during times of conflict, times of war? The biggest washing machine, laundromat that ever happened. It happens during these times. Just saying. So yeah, I believe no, but the cards are saying he does do business, or he has important meetings or important connections over there. Hold on, you've got questions. I don't want to miss them. Hold on. Okay, hold on. So now, I keep bringing that one up. Sorry. Why is it and has always been so violent in the Middle East? Those countries are always at some kind of war. Is there a spiritual curse or something going on there? It's the energy. Don't forget, where did Jesus come from? Whether you believe in God and the story of Jesus, who Jesus was a prophet, okay? He was a prophet, and he was like a modern age guru, psychic medium, who was extremely charming and amazing teacher. So why do you think that everything has, like, you've got Jordan, you've got Bethlehem, you've got Israel. These are the locations of these places are extremely powerful when it comes to the energy, not just historically. I also believe that in the ancient times, there's a lot hidden under the surface of the earth in Israel and Jordan and Iran and Lebanon, that area. And I believe that it's part of the spiritual warfare, which has been going on for centuries and centuries and centuries. Different forms, takes on different forms. It happens in different locations, different forms, but it is a spiritual warfare. The energy there. It's like the energy is like, I don't like what's happening here. It doesn't feel good. And I feel that that's why the area there is so volatile. There's so much energy. There's so much history. There's so many unalivings and horrible things that have happened. Of course, we have to look back as well. The history of Jews, what happened in the Second World War. These are all, like the mustached man he wasn't it wasn't there was a reason why he targeted Jews, okay? And it has to do with their lineage, it has to do with their DNA, it has to do with who and where they truly come from. Yes. Again, we don't like BB, but it doesn't mean that we have to, this applies for everyone. Just because the leader of a country is a see you next Tuesday, all right, or bad, evil person doesn't mean that their people are the same. Some people, yes, they will support, they will vote, they will, they will really sort of what's the word I'm looking like give to their leaders a lot of power, but it's usually the ones who suffer and the ones who die and the ones who pay for all of this. It's a big discussion, but I believe that this has to do with energy and the history of the location as well. Um Hold on. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And they're in the future, how I've seen it, they're going to be very successful in doing so. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I really think that this is going to be a complete flop for the first time in modern history ever since the Olympic Games started here in Greece. This is going to be I'm actually afraid of terrorist attacks, a lot of issues with flying and traveling. Let me just throw some cards about the football World Cup and the Olympics, because you guys in America, you've got two huge events coming up this summer. And the way things are going, I actually do have an acquaintance who was supposed he was going to fly out for the World Cup, and he spent a lot of money and he's booked his tickets well in advance, and he canceled. He's like, I'm not going, I just don't want to feel it. And one of his reasonings was not only that he, like, not feeling safe was sort of like lower on his on the list of reasons why he doesn't want to go, but you know what he said? I'm not giving my money to the US, to Trump. This is what he told me. I'm just sharing with you what he said. I do not want to endorse the orange man. This is what he said. And this person, he's German, not American. So let's see. What can you tell me about the World Cup and the Olympics? Ooh, okay. Card. The Hermit flew out. The Hermit ain't gonna be good. Ain't gonna be good. The hermit means isolation, being isolated by others. Two of Swords, Justice, and Nine of Cups. Okay, nine of Cups is a good card to have, but I'll tell you how I read it, because I'm also connected, as you know, and tuned in. So I have Two of Swords and Justice. So yes, there will be attempts, terrorist attacks and attempts, which I believe that they will manage to catch and disarm and do what they have to do. But with this Justice, it just shows that there's going to be no, well, what I heard is like no one will know how the World Cup and the Olympics are going to go until very last minute. Some people may decide. So I do see that they might do some special discounts. There's going to be a lot of marketing and promo around it, trying to sell it as it's safe. Listen, we've cut down our prices. We're going to make it easier for you to come. They're going to make lodges and hotels and stuff like that, bring down their prices and things like that. So they're going to act all like everything's good. We don't feel any threats. And they're definitely going to try to entice people to visit the US and go to these big events happening up. So yeah, but I heard that there is going to be a couple too. So I don't know if it's the Olympics or the World Cup, but there are going to be a couple of terrorist threats. I don't know if they're going to be successful or not, but it's going to be a thing. And what is the new like instant going to happen? Okay, let me just clarify. When I meant similar to what happened back then, I didn't mean that I saw planes crashing into buildings. No, but because of terrorist actions, it will affect planes. We may go back to like, remember back in the 80s, it was just a thing back then. These terrorists would hijack planes. Remember, there were so many of these events happen. Well, I mean, I was a very young child, but I remember several of these incidents happening. This is what I'm saying. So people trying to hijacking planes, um, bomb threats, things like that. Things like that. Accidents that look like accidents, but they're not actual accidents. But no, I don't see a replica of what happened in 9/11. No, so I just want to clarify that. Now, where I don't know, they don't give me everything. They don't show me everything. Sometimes I get drips of information, sometimes I get everything, sometimes I just get a little bit here and a little bit there. I don't know. I'm not getting that. Uh, all right, hold on. I saw people in Iran burning a statue of Baal in February. Is there a deeper meaning to this? Is this who the elites were? Oh, you bet. You bet. Among one of these dark entities and evilness that they worship and do sacrifices for and rituals for is Baal, 100%. Have you watched my video in Balenciaga where I talk about Baal and the symbolism and how satanic symbolism is everywhere in the fashion, the music industry? You should go and watch that video on my channel because I talk about that. Yes, 100%. Because the theocratic, Ayatollah Khamenei, man of God, he wasn't. All right. He wasn't. A man of God would never treat women and other human beings in that way. Sorry, a law and all. So, oh, yes, we also have Mexico. There's just so much going on. There's just so much going on. Let me see what you guys are saying. There were 15 religions before Christianity that had Jesus stories. So doesn't it seem Jesus just a composite of those ones? This is such a long and deep conversation that maybe we should have actually. We should have maybe on a members live, we could have a whole, because I know I've gotten throughout the years people asking me to talk about Jesus and talk about, I was raised Catholic, but I am not religious one iota. I wasn't even back when I was Catholic. I am not religious because ever since I was a child, I could see the spirit world, I could see the divine, I could see so many things, and I could really was able to, especially when I was little, when we're young, it's even easier for us to connect and see these things. These things I could see. So I don't believe in like what we call God. It's the divine source. That's our God to me. But I respect other, my mom is very religious. My grandparents and my grandmother, who's the only one who's alive out of my grandparents, very religious. She goes to church every Sunday, all of that. I've shared my opinions with them, but it's so much deeper. The whole story about there's so much. Don't get me started. I don't want to divert from this. There's so much I have to say about religion, about Christianity, about the Old Testament, about the New Testament, about the stories about Jesus, about Maria Magdalene, about all of that. Why it's the story of Jesus, the story of Maria Magdalene, the fact that he was crucified, the Pontius, all of that, why it was a story that needed to be in our history books, in our religious books, and all that, in order to shape humanity. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave you with a cliffhanger, but I'm going to make a note that we should talk about this because I see that a lot of you are interested in my opinions on this. I don't normally talk about things like that, and especially what's called, when I'm out, in a social environment, I do avoid to talk about religion and my opinions because I don't want to, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. And at the end of the day, it's my opinion. I'm not imposing my opinion and my beliefs on anyone, and I respect everyone. So 100% I do. Is this British Empire that has set up continual wars, constantly pitting each country against each other for oil and dominance in a general real life manner? Well, it is the Israeli Empire, isn't it? Because the thing about the British Empire and the way it colonized half the world, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean, was they did it with the whole, like, we are an empire and we conquer and we are extremely powerful. Israel, though, does it on the download. Israel has control and power over many countries and many world leaders, and they don't advertise it. Let me just say, they don't come out with a banner and say, you know what, I'm BB's friend, or I do what BB wants me, or that I'm being sponsored by BB or Israel. So except top continual wars, constantly pitting each country. That's their MO. That is their MO. uh Stripped on the island with a copper dome turret. Yeah. I wonder why Kai's not want to do fashion now. He does. LA Olympics are in 2028. Yeah, that applies for the Olympics. Both. I know they're in 2028. We just had the Winter Olympics. But it still applies just because it happens in 2 years. Again, watch my video, The Future of USA. Things are going to get better for the US 2029, 2030. 28 and 29 are going to be especially difficult years for the US. They are. So it falls right in with the Olympics. So for both these events, even though they're 2 years apart, I keep getting the same energy for both. Um, yes, that would be a members only. We'll do a members only and talk about this. So, yeah. Wait, where was the question about Mexico or the comment? Can you please talk about the safety of expats moving to and living in Mexico following the death of El Mencho? Yeah. How long will violence continue? This is a good question. I should look into this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get something for my guides first. Months. It's not going to die down. It's going to take months before peace kind of like prevails, not in Mexico and in the area. I heard that things are going to escalate in March. I thought we were February. This month, actually, it's March. It's the first of March. Talk too fast sometimes, and then so I'm getting, there is going to be another escalation in Mexico, South Mexico. There's going to be another there's going to be another hit on another cartel leader. This is what I just heard this month. This is south of Mexico. Is anyone Um, keeping tabs or monitoring the boats that are coming. Boats. I keep seeing boats coming out of Mexico. They're carrying stuff. Those boats in and out. I see boats in and out of Mexico. And these are boats that are their cargo is quite interesting. I cannot see their cargo, but I feel that there are different types of cargo. It's not substances per se, but I'm seeing weapons as well. I am also seeing money. I'm seeing money. Where is that going? The Caribbean? The Caribbean somewhere. Um so yeah, it's going to take months before things die down and it starts feeling a little bit safer again. But I just heard there's going to be another attack on the cartels. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's what I keep getting. I just got something which disturbed me a little bit. I'm just going to share. It's very raw, so I need to interpret what I got. This is very raw. And I just got cold. I saw there is going to be within all of this disruption and all this division and this chaos and um, just, really bad energy around. Some good news is going to come out in a sense because I'm seeing a little girl that has gone missing. This is not a local girl. This is not a Mexican girl. This could be from America or Canada. So North America. Um, there is going to be a girl that's going to be found alive, has gone missing. Don't think of the big cases, okay? Don't think about John Bonet or Madeline McCann because I've done readings on them. Channeled the two girls. They're both deceased. This is another case. Maybe it's not as it hasn't circulated as much or it hasn't been talked about as much, but there is a little girl with everything that's going on right now with cartels, Mexico, the unrest. A little girl is going to be found. She's not going to be little, but when she's found, but she was little when she disappeared, which is some good news that's coming out of this mess. So, excuse me. Do you have any other questions regarding this or regarding Iran? Because, yeah, hold on. Let me just ask my guides real quick something and my cards. So I'm just gonna leave it really open for spirit, either through me or through the cards, to share with me anything they want to share about Iran. Is there anything else that I should know or we should know? Is there anything that is changing? Anything that they want to share? Uranium. I kept seeing uranium and uranium and uranium. They're looking for that. They're looking for, I guess, the nuclear, where they have all the nuclear, because nuclear, you have to combine a set of chemicals and stuff and gases, and I don't know how it works. I'm not a scientist, but I know they use, like, the main component for nuclear weapons is uranium. And I kept seeing it. Now while I was asking. So what's going on there with the uranium? They have a lot more than um, they have a lot more nuclear weapons and uranium than the West, if you will, estimated. Okay, so are they going to do something about this? Is this So what is going on there? Are they going to threat? Yes, there is going to be a threat about nuclear. There's going to be a nuclear threat. It's not going to go anywhere. I've said this before. We're not going to be nuked. But they're going to threaten. They're going to pull every trick and stop they can to fight against the Americans. It's interesting though that they're targeting American bases. Why aren't they targeting Israeli bases? But it's interesting. I keep hearing that this is the other thing. So they have weapons, Iran now, that there is, how we talked about the secret weapon, US has a secret weapon, and that they were going to test it. They've tested it already. My feeling is they've tested it already. Well, Iran has a secret weapon too, and they may use it. I'm not so worried about Dubai. I'm more worried about Qatar. Something's going to happen over there. Also, I don't know why, but Cyprus. I heard Cyprus. There will be an incident with Cyprus as well. I'm not saying they're going to bomb them or send missiles, whatever, but I'm just saying there's going to be some kind of incident that involves Cyprus or the or near Cyprus, around Cyprus. Yeah, that's what I'm getting so far. Thank you. Yes, please don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Will USA let up on sanctions on them and eventually? Yeah, on whom? On them? It's gonna take what Trump has done is gonna take a while to get undone. All right. So it's gonna take several years before some of these sanctions and the tariffs and but no, to answer your question regarding Iran, no. No, sanctions, I believe, this is what I feel intuitively, are going to stay. Have Trump said they will miss a next time? Yeah. You know what? Okay. I've said this before. Trump, he will, when he passes, which will happen, it's not going to be because someone pew-pewed him or unalived him. It's going to be because he has a heart attack. It's going to be pathological. Their bark is how I see it and feel it with Iran right now. It's like their bark is worse than their bite. So yeah, they can scream and shout all they want, but they're not the ones who are going to unalive Trump. Dubai airport has been bombed. I heard this happened just before we went live, I believe. I heard part of it. Or did is this something new? Cyprus has a UK base. I know. Don't forget Erdogan. I said this in the video in the beginning of the year about Erdogan. He's next. Not this year, not next year. Erdogan is going to meet his fate. Just saying. Erdogan's next with all of this. And with Iran now disarming Iran, what is Erdogan going to do? Late, not sure if you answered this. Can you ask about Los Angeles this week, particularly southern border towns, wondering who has slipped through? What do you mean? Who has slipped through? As in, from where? From like Mexico? Yeah, if you can reframe your question, then I will try to answer it. With how the US with this old Cheeto. I know. I'm sorry about that, you guys. It's just my nose is really itchy. I don't know. Sometimes it's spiritual as well. It's a psychic ping. When my nose is itchy, it means like someone's trying to connect with me psychically. I don't know who it is now. I'll check later. And yes, psychics do feel when you try to penetrate our energy field and auric field, we know. We feel it and we know exactly who it is, just so you know. Just so you know, because it's happened so many times and I know exactly who does it and why, which is why it's good to protect yourself from prying psychic eyes. All right, I think we've covered everything regarding Iran. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the upcoming eclipse before we move on to Jeffrey the monster. So we have on March 3rd a total lunar eclipse. It's a blood moon, actually, and it is in Virgo. Now, here's the interesting part. We have the North Node in Virgo, and then we have South Node in Pisces. And let me tell you, this eclipse is not going to like the South Node in Pisces. Just as Mercury being retrograde in Pisces at the moment, Mercury does not like that placement and does not like Pisces very much. Why? Because Mercury is all about structure, organization, getting things done, planning when it's not retrograde. All right. And Pisces is a passive sign. It's more spiritual. It lives up there. You know, it's a sign that lives in fantasy and very thought, like they think a lot, but they don't take action straight away. So that's why this Mercury retrograde is going to feel sticky and bad. Okay, it's going to feel like nothing is moving forward and everything is just feels like everything's like stagnant, and disruptions with communications and traveling. Well, here we go. We see it already with the airports and everything. With traveling, again, a reminder: your exes is going to come out of the woodwork. This is what happens every Mercury retrograde. So there's a lot of energy right now that it's happening. So that's why I feel March, and I've said this all along, March is going to be a very tense month, not a good month to travel, not a good month to just start something new. Why? Because we also have this eclipse. It's eclipse season. We're smack bang in the middle of two eclipses. And what this means is that there is going to be so much energy and tension that it needs to be released. That's what Virgo does. Okay. So purge and release is the energy of this eclipse. And then you have Pisces, which is all about the spiritual surrender. So Virgo is about the physical reality. It's about the physical needs, the reality, and what the physical needs. Pisces, on the other hand, is more about the spiritual needs. So you can see there's a tug of war, a push and pull here. And when you have this eclipse energy that is pushing and pulling, it needs to release. It needs to release, and it will release. And it's going to be tense. That's why you guys be vigilant, be careful, try to avoid unnecessary traveling if you can, or driving, or doing long like road trips and things like that. Try to avoid it during the whole month if possible. If not, life has to go on, everybody. Life has to go on. Just because an astrologer, a psychic, a medium, someone, the news told you that, oh my god, you don't change your life just because I say it. Don't change your life. I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay, I could be wrong, not with the eclipse stuff and all that. The energy is super, super, super potent. But I'm just saying, just because I see certain things happening doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, specifically to you. So life has to go on for all of us. Now, who is this going to affect the most? It is the mutable signs. How? Really quickly, and then I'll move on to the Epstein stuff because of time, pressed for time, because I know that if those I'm so who's bugging me in the spiritual world right now. Someone is totally annoying me right now. So who's going to feel it the most? The mutable signs. We've got Virgo. This is going to be more of an identity reset. Also for Virgo risings, March, amidst all of this chaos going around, March is actually a very good month when it comes to career and new opportunities arising, a boost in your career, finding success, maybe even getting a bonus or a check of some sort. So this is how it's going to affect Virgos and Virgo risings. Then you have Pisces. It's all about relationships, the beginning of new relationships that feel that I feel they're going to be more like soulmate kind of relationship or vibes, and also the end of relationships and shifting away from um uh, from a situation or relationship. It could also be a partnership, it could also be a business partnership, Pisces. So big changes around partnerships and relationships. Then we have Gemini. Oh, Geminis, we have this is going to really the eclipse is going to affect you the most when it comes to your home and your roots, which means that either you may decide now is the time to do some work around the house. They could be that you feel like something is uprooting you as well. It could be going back to your roots, or maybe even discovering something about your roots or your DNA, taking some kind of DNA test, going through ancestry, for instance, and finding things out, secrets and things like that, because the eclipse eclipses, but it also reveals, all right? It reveals what's been hidden for a long time. So it could be something about your family, your roots, your genetics, something like that. And last but not least, we have Sagittarius, which is about this is going to affect them the most, career and public image. Virgos as well, but this it's going to bring forward, or it's going to bring up things regarding your career and your public image. It could all, because this is eclipse, it could also mean that there might be something or something connected to your job or connected to what you do. It could be you saying something on social media which might have a negative uh, outlook for you, or people not liking things that you say or do. So these are, of course, it's an eclipse. It's going to affect all of the zodiacs, but the mutable signs are the ones that are most are going to feel it the most, especially. But the good news is for Virgo risings, this is a very good month. Yay! I hope so. I hope so. Joining late, not sure if you understand. Can you ask about particular? Thank you for the super chat, Goddess of Rocks. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Particularly southern border towns, terrorists. Yes, when it comes to, well, I don't see anything particular about LA. And LA is not that close to Mexico because as I mentioned, or as I said earlier, I see more more incidents happening in Mexico, and attacks and cartel wars and wars against the cartels and stuff like that. But I don't see anything or feel anything, or I'm not getting anything as I'm asking now regarding um, the border towns and the terrorists. The terrorists, the terrorist threats that I mentioned and I said earlier about the World Cup, for instance, and later on in the for the Olympics. You guys, I said it in the beginning. Sleeper cells. These could be American people. These could be Americans. You know what I mean? Like second generation, third generation, who are bred and born and bred in the US. Um, so that could just act in that way and do these horrible things. So the point here, what I'm trying to say here is I don't see anything specific about the borders, the southern borders of US bordering with Mexico. Oh, Pamela. Okay, good. However, it didn't go out. Yes, be very vigilant because things are going to ramp up and things are going to amplify in general. I know it's now a little bit calmer. Probably this is what I read. So just be careful the whole month. Just, be careful, be vigilant, protect yourself and your family. Um, take a road. It's at the end of the month. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. It's at the end of the month. For so many million struggling with money, born 1980 and less. Oh my, this is another topic of discussion that I have to add to my list, you guys. Um, I know our generation, millennials and the Xers, we didn't have it easy. We don't have it easy. Our boomer parents, though, on the other hand, I was talking to my dad the other day. My brother came to visit to Greece. I haven't seen him in 3 years, I believe. And he went and we were talking about generations and we're talking about the difference between Gen Z and millennials and Xers. And I looked at my dad and I don't know where that came from. And I looked at him and I said, "You boomers, you destroyed us, millennials and Xers. You had the time of your life. We raised ourselves. We became super. Did you ask us if we wanted to be independent? I just had to go at him. Everyone at the table were staring at me. I don't know where that came from. Well, at the moment I didn't know, but I know now where it came from because honestly, now as parents, the millennials and the Xers, some are helicopter parents, some are gentle parenting, some are too much, some are too free. Yes, you have different types of parenting, but what I am noticing is that because of the way that we were raised by boomers, we don't dare go against the Gen Zs out there, the Gen Zs out there. I tell you, the Gen Zs are like, and we are like, I don't know, how can I say, we're like, we didn't grow up, even though we raised ourselves and we became uber independent from a very young age because we were raised by the boomers who were partying and the economy was booming in the 80s. Technology started entering every household, like the internet and things like that. The reason I think that we never grew up. We never grew up. We never did. We that inner wounded child is still wounded, and that inner wounded child still wants to play and still wants mommy and daddy's attention, affection, time, all of it. And I think it's not good. I think it's not good. We are a troubled generation. We are 100% troubled. We're not a bad generation. We're a very troubled generation, hard workers, but we didn't have it easy. We had the economic crisis of 2008, with Lehman Brothers and all of that crashing and burning, and the stock market and the housing crisis market. And it's just never ending. Yeah, sure, the 80s they had, and early 90s they had the Gulf War 1, Gulf War 2. You had some other wars. You had Serbian war. There were wars. There were still wars around, but it was just very different. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't want to get too into it, but since you asked, Joey, and I think that's why it's so hard for us and we're struggling. It's not just with money, we're struggling with our mental health. Our generation is struggling with our identity, finding our identity. We're kind of stuck between what sort of like our parents' aspirations were for us and what we really want to do. And we're kind of stuck in between in those, because most millennials and Xers, if you ask them, most of them just don't want to, they just don't want to have a corporate job and live in the hamster wheel and in this rat race. But do we have a choice? Most people don't have a choice. Some people do have a choice. And I think we are the most, I don't know, we are the most wounded generation after the silent generation. The silent generation was really amazing generation, in my opinion. If you read a little bit historically and you read books about the silent generation, you learn a lot more and you'll understand the psychology of people back then. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm not going to go on. Actually, saying the struggle is real for us, for our generation. It is absolutely, absolutely true. Um, yeah. Yes, me too, Juicy Prusy. Juicy Prusy, I love it. Like that, I'm feeling me too as a Virgo rising too. Even though I don't like everything else, I do feel that something's brewing. And I'll tell you what's brewing. I'll tell you what's brewing. This is a great segue, and we'll get to Epstein now. After this, great segue to promote something which I will announce this week, which is an incredible work. I think this is the perfect time actually as well. I am hosting with my friend Tina, who does white time healing, and she works with a board of angels. She is level 4 certified. We are hosting and we're doing a workshop. This is going to be an intensive 4-hour workshop. This is an activation workshop. You need this. What we're going to do is we're going to open you up. We are going to connect you to your spirit guides and the angels and the board of angels, right? We're going to activate you. Then I'm going to teach you how to connect with your intuition, how to pick up signs, how to listen to the messages, what you're receiving. This is for all levels, by the way. You can be an absolute beginner. It doesn't matter. We're going to do exercise. We're not going to get into the theory. We're going to dive straight in. It's going to be intensive. And we're going to do crystal therapy too. We're going to talk about crystals, how you can implement crystals and use crystals as spiritual tools in your spiritual practice. Overall, how to do crystal grids. Okay. We're going to get into that. And in the end, you're going to create your own sigil. This is going to be very powerful sigils directly from the elders and the board of angels. And this is going to be your unique special sigil that is going to protect you and give you so much power too. So make sure that you're following me on social media for sure, because I'll be announcing this week. Of course, I'll be sending you emails if you're in my email list. So look out for that. I'm very excited for this one, for this workshop, because I know how much this is going to help you. It's going to be intensive. It's 4 hours, going to have some breaks in between, but I want you to be ready. Make sure you've eaten. Make sure you have your drinks. Of course, we're going to take bathroom breaks and all that, but it's going to be very, very intense. And you are going to love this. You're going to be wide open and you're going to be very much connected and anchored to spirit. I know. What did I used to call? Did I use Juicy Prusay? I don't think. Did I Frencherize your name? Juicy Prusay. It's really funny. My daughter the other day, she I don't know if you know this, but I'm trilingual, so I was raised speaking French and English, and later on I learned Greek because my mom's half Greek. Anyways, the point here is that my daughter wants to learn French. She's trilingual too. She speaks German, English, and she's learning Greek now. So she's bilingual. But it's funny because my daughter was like, "Mom, how do you say pigeon in French?" And I was about to answer, like seriously, just to tell her what, and she's like, "Pigeon. It's a pigeon." And when she said that, I was in the car, we're driving, and I was driving under a big tree, and a pigeon decided to like poop all over my and my daughter pointed at it and she said, "That's a pigeon caca." And I was so Juicy Pouzé, you're now French. And today I got your name right. It was Juicy Prusy. You're Peapod. Oh, okay. Oh, you're Peapod. No wonder I haven't seen Peapod. Peapod turned into French Juicy Prusy. All right. So Let's see. Okay, shall we talk? Do you guys still want to talk about Epstein? Because I see everyone's more preoccupied about what's happening. If you want, we can talk about Epstein and the stuff next week. We continue to talk. I mean, this is not. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. So you let me know, guys, in the chat. Let me see, because I see a lot of people are more concerned right now about what's going. I get it, 100%. I'm here to help you as much as I can. So Lynn asks, Mexico, can you please talk about the safety of expats moving to and living in Mexico following the death of Elmencho? How long will violence continue? Did I? All right. Okay. I thought I answered it previously or not. All right. Sometimes I just use the cards just to shuffle because it helps me connect to spirit, even though my intention is not to pull the cards. I'm just letting you know. But I'm asking my guides first. So, how long? So, as I said earlier, I do get 6 to 8 months where things are going to continue being so tense and dangerous in Mexico, and especially certain areas of Mexico. They keep pointing, like every time I close my eyes and I ask, they keep pointing at the south of Mexico, not north of Mexico. South of Mexico, I feel that's a red zone because now I'm being shown the map of Mexico and it's all red down there. Certain areas are not going to be they're not safe. So my guides are saying there are certain areas, especially expats, anyone who is not Mexican, who's not local, who lives in the South, just be aware that there things are going to amplify over there and it's not going to be safe. I heard something else. Even in Mexico City, what is going to ramp up is abductions, kidnappings, things like that for ransom, for other reasons, for money. Things are getting worse because you know what? Once I kept hearing that with certain cartels in place, that certain crimes that like petty crime, like petty crime, like violent crimes and things like that. It's a little bit sort of suppressed, but the more cartels are eradicated, the more these types of crimes are going to go up. And I want to be super specific about what I'm saying here. What I saw and heard from my guides said, especially for women, Mexico is not going to be safe. There are going to be attacks, unwarranted attacks against women of sexual nature, raping, and all sorts of things, abductions for money and for pleasure. So, yes, the next 6 to 8 months, I'm getting 6 to 8 months, things are going to get super, super tense. I keep getting more like the east side of Mexico. For now, it seems like things are a little bit better, safer, and I believe those are going to be more peaceful areas, like the east, central east of the country. But please, Lynn, be super careful, super vigilant. Don't walk alone. Try to avoid walking at night or in areas that are not safe, are dodgy, shady. Yeah, things in Mexico are going to escalate. They're going to escalate. I'm sorry. I wish I had better news. Has taken over for Epstein or with AI, is that even someone taken over for Epstein or with AI surveillance, is that even necessary? What do you mean taken over for Epstein regarding the rings, the stuff that's been going on? Is that what you mean, Rosie? No, no one's taken over for Epstein, but they're Epstein, but there are other rings. Epstein was one of the bigger, well, I don't know if it's one of the bigger ones, to be honest. Rings, transportation rings. hmm there are others which slowly but surely there are things, the information and the truth is going to come to light. And some of these people are going to get caught. Some people are going to run for their lives and hide and go to very remote areas. I also we see already the elites, some of the elites quitting, stepping down, they're panicking. We'll see a lot more of that. I also, this is so random. Again, they're not specific with that, but I'll just share it with you. They showed me that there is someone who's involved in, I don't know if it's specifically Epstein's situation or there's another situation. This is someone who's quite powerful, known, and famous, who's actually going away and hiding. Wait, I'm asking if it's Andrew. For some reason, I thought it was Andrew. Hold on. Yes and no. Okay. So, if you haven't watched my reading about Andrew and what's next for him now, the disgraced, exiled ex-prince, I've said this. I've said this before. He's going to be taken out of the line of succession. But what they showed me is that this famous person who's involved in one of these things, circles, rings, whatever you want to call them, is actually going to be exiled, funnily enough. It's going to disappear and he's going to change his face. He's going to have plastic surgery. He's going to change his face, just like the cartel leaders do. Just what they do. They go to plastic surgeons and they go change their faces. That is what this person, and when I said yes or no, Andrew is the one who's definitely, if you've watched that reading, you would know that I said that he will leave the UK. Not mainland UK, okay? So he might end up in one of the islands of the UK, but just on an island. I see him on an island. And just living the rest of his life in misery and exile. And what rest of his life? It's going to be quite short. Watch that reading. You'll understand what I mean. Andrew's not going to be on the earth plane for much longer. I explained why and what I saw. Yes, neither is Charles. One's going to follow the other. So yeah, to answer that. Referring Jane, Sarah Ferguson, and Andrew, does Beatrice and Eugenie know stuff about their parents? Yep. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Harry knows too. William knows too. Meghan knows too. Catherine knows too. They all know. The Queen knew. They all know. Yes. Beatrice and Eugenie now, thank God they're married to rich, powerful, respectable in the industry men. But they honestly have to do some kind of rebrand, or they have to do a lot of philanthropy or do something to give back, give back. And my advice is, girls, I know you love your dad. We all love our parents, regardless of their flaws. But, and Andrew is not just flawed, he's evil. But moving on, maybe girls, you should teach your parents a lesson and the world and lead by example and advocate for these survivors. Maybe. I'm just saying, because those girls are hiding. They are hiding. And of course they know. Hmm. Oh no. Shopaholic says my parents leave for Huatuco tomorrow. Gonna tell them to stay inside the hotel. Yeah, I mean, listen, don't ruin their holiday. Just to stay in touristy areas, busy areas during the day, places where it's safe. Mm, just life has to go on. I always say this, life has to go on. There's nothing, we cannot stop living out of fear. That's the worst thing we can do to the collective. The best thing that we can do for the collective is pray, and be happy. And be happy because it is a ripple effect. We need to lift our vibration, raise our vibration. And how do we do that? Even if it's just for 5 minutes. I constantly talk about dancing, something that I do. Maybe it's something else for you. Maybe it's gardening that keeps you happy and grounded. Dancing is the thing for me, one of the things. Okay. In summer, it's usually swimming. So dancing, this is what I do when I want to raise my vibration. It's the perfect thing, even for 5 minutes. You are putting that energy out there. It's a ripple effect for the collective. So we don't want fear. We don't want, and yes, we have the power because the law of one, we're all connected. And the more people we think we are positive and we have moments of happiness. I know we cannot be happy all the time because we're always stressed. We have burdens and responsibilities, and there's so many things happening out there. But even if it's for 5 minutes that you do something that raises your vibration, you're actually helping the world. You're actually helping the collective, and we can actually prevent for more bad things from happening. Just a quick reminder for everyone. No, I don't know this for sure, but I know from my experience that whenever I've connected to evil people who have done evil deeds, when I connect with them, they are not remorseful, actually. They believe that they followed a soul contract, a mission, and they're not remorseful, but these are low vibrational souls and spirits. And for them, it's a lot more hard work and a lot like bad reincarnate bad when I mean like difficult reincarnations for them. In order for them to raise their vibration, some of them never do. Some of the, like for instance, the mustache man that I talked about, the German's Austrian, he was actually Austrian, despite the fact everyone calls him German. Um, the Austrian evil, horrible, one bold man. All right. He, for instance, because I've tried to connect with him and I've seen him in spirit world. He's stuck in the lower realms of the astral and the spirit world. Right. That's what like religious people or uber Christians would call like hell. Yes, he's stuck there. He's not reincarnating anytime soon. Maybe I don't know that, but this is what happens. So there is no remorse, unfortunately. I know I wish I could tell you otherwise, and I know that it would make people feel better knowing this, but that's the truth. Oh, my pun. I'm due to fly to Dubai next Saturday. Will I? And you know what's interesting? I was gonna come to New York with Emirates. I was gonna fly with Emirates. Tell you, ever like it was just my guides. Thank you, guides. They did their work. um, I'm due to fly to Dubai next Saturday. Will I? I don't know. I don't know. Things are so volatile and the energy is changing. As I mentioned earlier, I see the airport opening for a few days and then closing again. So this is going to happen a couple of times. So I don't know if it's going to be on the day that you're actually flying. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, and I wish I could change it for you. But I'm afraid I'm not, they're not so specific with this. Um, hold on. Just say the question kept it as it was sent incomplete and retie. Okay, thank you, Gigi. Thank you for letting me know. All right, I had marked it there. I hadn't read the question. All right. Juicy Pousset. Yeah, she's French today, everybody. Natalie, that is fascinating about people with lower vibrations. Is there anything that can make them change their view and learn from their mistakes? Is pride something we carry into the afterlife? We don't listen. Once we go to the afterlife, it takes some time for us to shed our human experience and our human traits and personalities, which is why as mediums, we cannot connect to souls usually. Sometimes we can straight away. So like if someone comes to me, they've recently lost a loved one, I won't be able to connect with them because they're still in that transitional period where they're shedding their human experience, they're shedding everything, their ego, all of it that comes with being human. And it takes some time, okay, to do that. It's an adjustment period. So respectful mediums and ethical mediums will tell their clients too soon. We need to give them time. We need to give them time. And especially people who've taken their own lives. Those are considered breach of contract because there's nowhere in your soul contract that I've talked about the 5 exit points. So you have 5 points of exit from this lifetime, which everything's been pre-planned with the elders, the council, and your guides just before you enter your physical body. And just before you even select your parents. First comes the soul contract. So what kind of life you're going to have, what lessons are you going to learn, who from your pod or from other pods is going to follow you into this lifetime, in this new lifetime. Then once you've agreed on that and you've set out your soul contract, then what happens is you select your parents. You select your parents. So your guides or the elders will give you some options that will say, well, according to the life that you're going to lead and what you're going to learn from it and how you're going to evolve as a soul, these are some sets of parents or homes that we believe. And then you pick. You might even say, I don't want from your selection, I'll pick my own family and parents. So yes, we do choose our parents, good or bad. It's part of our journey, here on earth. So no, we don't carry anything on the other side at all. They do. So when they're in the spirit world, they're in spirit form and they are pure energy and pure light. When, though, a medium such as myself or any medium connects to these souls, right? They have, let me remove this because I feel it. So what happens is mediums have to raise their vibration, right? And souls have to lower the vibration because yes, a medium can get, some mediums or some seers can get higher, but it's super draining. You need a lot of training for this, and you need to be able to, really sort of like replenish your energy and power up in order for you to do that. So what happens is you raise your vibration and they lower the vibration, and we meet halfway. So when we meet halfway, because the astral realm is high, again, remember what we've talked about, the rainbow cake, it's layers, it's not linear, time's not linear, nothing's linear, everything is happening in parallel. The future, the past, the present, the spirit world, the earth plane, everything is happening in parallel in different layers. Yeah, think about an elevator. You have floor 1, floor 2, bing, bing, bing. Okay. And then when you reach the top floor, that's the spirit world, that's the astral realm. So we meet halfway. And when we meet halfway, because they have to enter the physical world, in a sense, or their energy has to be so strong in the physical world in order for us mediums to pick up those vibrations. Okay, they will adopt the personality traits and quirks and things that they had when they were here. Why? Easy. Because how are you going to recognize your loved one if I don't have something to like if they just appear to me as pure light? If you're standing there and you want your reading, I'll be like, yeah, I have someone here for you. Very strong vibration, very strong energy. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what kind of food they liked. I don't know what their favorite color was. I don't know anything. So they have to come back and reconnect to their human experience, because that's how you recognize your person, your loved one. Because I'm going to describe, okay, I see her wearing this, or I can smell her perfume, or she's showing me her birthdays then. This is evidential mediumship. A good medium is the one who brings forth evidence. It's not all about, yeah, I've got your mommy here. She loves you. She misses you. Yeah, it was awful. She's so sorry you missed the funeral. Yeah, I feel like a heart attack. Yeah, like, I don't know, 65% of the cases of death are like related to heart issues. So you need an evidential medium, someone who's going to bring forth. So when you hear and you the medium's connecting to your loved one, you feel them. You know they're in the same room space with you. I hope that answers your question. I do tend to have long-winded answers sometimes, but I get passionate about things like that. Oh, thank you for actually, I'm having a very good hair day today. I was surprised. I'll tell you what I've done something different. Korean beauty. Not only has it changed my skin, Korean skincare, but now I'm using Korean shampoo, Korean what are called treatments, and it's changed because I dye my hair. So it's super dry because it's so blonde, and I dye my hair tomorrow. My hair colorist is coming, so I'm gonna do the roots. But that's what's changed my hair. I swear to you guys, I swear by Korean products and things like that. It's completely changed my hair. And there's another brand of shampoo, so random, but this is a live show. We talk about anything and everything and all of it, and that's why we're here. We're here to hang out. Another one that I highly recommend to you guys is, it's a bit controversial because it's Israeli owned, but the best shampoo and conditioner, Serena Key. If you've got damaged hair, dry hair, if you dye your hair, you color your hair a lot, so good. Which products? Good question. I don't know. I have to go upstairs and check. It's a dark brown bottles, and it's got pink lettering on it. I'll post it on Instagram. I'll post it on Instagram. That'll be random for whoever if people don't watch this, if they haven't watched this live yet, but there you go. Which products? I will post on Instagram. So I swear by these products, and I do, Virgo rising, I do a lot of research when it comes to the type of products that I use. I do use a lot. I do test a lot, but I do also a lot of research regarding ingredients, where they come from, the company, and all of that. It's important to me. To get to Australia via Dubai, thank you for checking. I know my holiday is insignificant in all this. Listen, it's your holiday. I know it may be insignificant on the grand scheme of things, but it is your holiday. This is important to you, and you need this. And you know what? Let's all pray. Let's all raise the vibration. Okay, so we can change the outcome of things. And Moipan can go on holiday, and anyone else who's traveling in March. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we've already we've covered a lot. We'll talk about Epstein stuff, I think, we'll do it next week. If I have time next week, I might do another sort of impromptu live during the week. And there are, what was it? Hold on. Someone asked me. Oh, yeah. I'm just making a note about talking about Jesus and religion and the stories behind all of this. We'll do a members live for that. I would love to hear what you guys have to say and what you think and what your beliefs are. Very interested, as always. Serena Key. No, let me drop it in the with a AY, I believe. Hold on, let me double check. It's so good, you guys. It's pricey. It's pricey, but it's worth it because you don't need a lot from the Serena Key shampoo. It's made of shea butter, like pure shea butter from Africa. So you don't need much, but Serena Key shampoo. Okay, I'll show you the bottle. Okay. Oh, camera. Sorry, hold on. This is the bottle. This is what it looks like. Can you see it? This is what it looks like, and it's spelled Serena here. There you go. This is the bottle. Very much worth it. And the Korean one, I will post it on Instagram for anyone. Did questions related to, I didn't have any questions regarding Nancy Guthrie. I posted an update on Instagram and TikTok regarding what I believe. So very quickly, I'll go over it really quickly, what I've gotten psychically. 2 men, there is some woman not involved, not being a perpetrator, but sort of being the mastermind behind it, or someone who like coordinates things. She's a coordinator, okay? But there are 2 men. The one of them is close to the family, not necessarily family, but close to the family, meaning that he knows what's her name? Nancy's, sorry, I was gonna call her Cynthia for some reason. Nancy's sort of routine. They know the ins and outs. I got that Nancy, we all know that she passed. She passed 3 or 4 days after she was abducted. But of course, I had to be respectful at the time, but I shared it with you. She will be found, or her body will be found. She will be found after the media frenzy and all of this attention dies down. They will feel more safe to get rid of her body. I'm sorry for using this type of wording. And she'll be found. She's not in a good state. I told you from the very beginning that she was injured. So the blood that we saw, the specks of blood, was because of injury. I saw her nose, and she had lacerations and she had cuts and stuff on her face. And also the blood came from her nose. That's what I said from day 2 or 3 when this happened. And will they find the perpetrators? Yes, they will. It might take a few months, though. I know it's disappointing, but it will happen after Nancy is found. The other thing that I've said, and some people on TikTok were like, on Instagram, actually, they were attacking me. That you're mean, you're a scammer. They're starting. I was like, oh, God. Here we go again. The other thing that I said was that Savannah knows from early on, she suspects who may be behind it, but obviously they don't have enough proof, or they can't find them yet, or I don't know what is blocking that. And also, the abduction involves money. Okay, money. And someone asked me when I did the first reading, and someone asked me about the will. There was a change of the will, and my cards confirmed. So this is what I see. These are the things that I see for now. Now, regarding the other thing that I want to share that I haven't shared about the Nancy Guthrie is that one of the perpetrators has shaved. So again, I don't. Why would the police remember the first week where they just arrested this poor random guy, this delivery guy, and I don't know how they came to that conclusion, but he had, the stubble, and he had facial hair. Well, if you've done a crime and you're on CCTV or on a Nest camera and everyone's talking about your facial hair, the first thing you're going to do is shave it and get rid of the facial hair. So the first guy, one of the guys, has gotten rid of his facial hair. He's got brown eyes, brown hair, short hair. He even had a haircut since the incident, and someone in their early 30s, young. I'm talking about the guy. I feel that the main guy. There are two guys, but the main guy. I also said that there was a car waiting. So when the main guy went in and grabbed Nancy, the other guy was in a car waiting somewhere down the neighborhood. I don't know where exactly, but and it feels like this neighborhood is like, is it on a hill or some sort? Because I feel like there is a lot of turns, and it's dry, and you have cacti and some plants there, and so like yucca plants and things like that. But it seems like it's like a windy road that just looks the same. You might be driving, like winding down this hill, whatever, and it all looks the same to me, at least I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And the other thing that I have said, but it's good that I put everything together now, everything that I've gotten, is that remember that first video of the Nest camera, the one that everyone's trying to analyze? People were just feeding it on to AI, trying to figure it out, colorize it, blah, 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 blah. Well, what I got from Spirit was that moment, that clip was not on the day or the night of the abduction. It was actually after. Sorry, it was actually before. I'm sorry. The abduction happened after. It was maybe I don't know, the day before. I don't know that, but it was the day before. It wasn't on the actual day. That clip that we saw. It wasn't. That's all I have. That's all I have. Regarding who this person is, I cannot say it yet. I'm blocked. I know who it is. I don't know them, but I've been shown who it is, and I cannot say it. I cannot. I'm blocked from Spirit, and because I'm ethical and because I respect Spirit, I will respect that, and I will reveal it when she's found, before they're caught. When she's found, I will reveal what I got for him. But remember, young man, early 30s, brown eyes, brown hair. Now it's short, shaven. I'm talking about the main guy now. Not too tall. I would say 5'7", 5'8". I know the police said 5'11" or something. I don't know. This could be the second guy, but the one I'm seeing, that's what I get. Did it come out already? Did they announce that? The Nest footage was from days beforehand. I think I mentioned it. If you go to the video, the second reading that I did, I believe it was 2 weeks ago on the live at the end. Some people don't stick around for the true crime ones. That's where I said that it's a different. Are they? Okay. I'm not giving her my money though. Sorry. So yeah. Ooh, another hair brand for dry hair is Teachin, and it's affordable. Ooh, thank you. I love exchanging. I love that we talk about these things and we can talk about everything and exchange opinions and ideas. Yes. What is this? Almost always on Sunday early afternoon, I think, but sometimes stuff happens. So she does it on Monday or Tuesday to make it up. Yes, 100%. Sundays is our day. Sometimes things come up and I might do it during the week. I might do it like on a Monday, or I might do, instead of doing like a members live on a Friday, I'm going to do like a live on a thing. So you've got me at least once a week for sure. Like, you've got me. I mean, we have these lives. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Shooting is so right. It's so long. All right, everybody, let's wrap it up. This is it. So let's start the new week with positivity, with love. Let's put that frequency and that vibration out there for the world. Let's all pray. Yes, prayers, meditation is another way of praying. There are different forms of praying, any type of whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's all dedicate 5-10 minutes of our time this week to put it out there for the collective. Let's change things. Let's try to eradicate evil as fast as we can and as best as we can. It is a spiritual warfare. We're there. We're getting there. We're almost at it. Remember, guys, remember, after 2030, 29 and 30, where things are going to start looking very differently. I've talked about the golden era and the new earth, etc., and it's all happening. We're going to look back at these times and we're going to be like, wow, we lived and experienced and we were part of momentous and historical events, universally historical events happening. So, we've got each other. This is a constant reminder, meaning that we have found our people, our tribe. There are good people out there. Here you go. As an example, this community, there are good people out there with good intentions, good vibes, good souls. Remember that. Don't let all the evil and the bad make you forget about the beauty out there and the love out there and the power that we have. We're a lot more powerful than we think. The problem is they want to keep us afraid. The worst and the lowest of vibrations. Why? Because what does fear do? It feeds the beast. And the beast is the elite's the beast. All the evil out there. We're feeding it with our fear. Stop fearing. Stop. Don't. When we stop being afraid, that's when we are going to take their power away and we're going to weaken these people, these awful, evil people out there. Remember that. It's coming. It's coming. It has to start from us, though. It has to start from us. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for another amazing live, for another amazing Sunday with the Fem Fam and the Fem Village. I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye. Rock.